Right now in our application, whenever we make any change or we do any functionalities on admin side like deleting or adding a category, we do not see any notification. And without notification, it is really difficult to understand what's actually going on. Like if we are in a category, if we add a new category here, you see we don't have any notification. It's really difficult for user to know whether the category was added or if they are deleting it, whether it was deleted or not. So let's implement notifications in our website. So for that we can keep the application running and we'll open up underscore layout and we'll close all the other tabs. What we want to do is we want to add a partial view inside our underscore layout folder, which is the shared folder. So we can right click here. In order to add a view, we'll have to stop the application. Let's go back, add a new view. This time we'll make it a partial view. We have added partial views in the beginning for individual product card, and now it's time to add another partial view, and we will name this as notifications. Partial view does not have any model, so this looks good. Let's add this. If you recall from the first part, we have seen view data and view bag. That being said, I told at that time that there is a third component called as temp data. Temp data can be used to store data between two consecutive requests. It doesn't matter if it's from view to controller or a view to another view. It persists the data for any two consecutive requests. Temp data internally uses session to store the data. So think of it as a short-lived session. Temp data value must be typecast before use. So we have to check for null values to avoid runtime error. Temp data can be used to store one-time messages like error messages, validation messages, and that's exactly what we want in our scenario. Now, how do we use temp data? For that, we'll go back to our application. And before we start using temp data, what we'll do is we'll complete our notifications. We will go to Solution Explorer and we have the utility where we have the constants. Rather than using magic strings, I will have a constant here for our two notification. So I'll paste it here 2 times. First, I'll make it as success, and the second one I'll make it as error. Then in here, I'll have success and error. Once we have this, we'll be displaying our Toastr notifications inside the notifications partial view. So if we switch back to the browser and we go on the Toastr page, we scroll down here. Toastr is really easy to implement. You just say toastr.info after you have added the CSS and JS. So if we switch back to our application, when we added the CSS and JS in underscore layout, I already included the Toastr CSS, and if we scroll down, we have Toastr JS. That being said, we will need this inside our partial view. So we can cut this Toastr from here. Let me paste it after the jQuery, and I'll copy both the jQuery as well as Toastr. We'll copy this and we can remove this from underscore layout. We will leave the jQuery here, but we'll paste both the others inside our partial view. Then we need to access our constants. So we'll say using Rocky underscore utility for web constants. Right now we have not set temp data, but we will add a if condition and we have to check if temp data, in the bracket here we need the name. The name is wc.success. If there is any value inside the success, we will display that inside a Toastr notification. So if success is not null, then we need to load jQuery first and then Toastr. So we can cut this, paste it here, and we will add a script tag to call our Toastr alert. So type is equal to text JavaScript, In here, as we saw the syntax before, it is toaster dot. We have the success, and what we want to display is the text that is inside temp data. So here we'll just say temp data, and then in the bracket we need to pass wc.success. So whatever value we set inside the temp data, we will display that in a toaster notification. This is for success. We have to do the same if there is any error. So right here we have the error, and we'll have the error here. Rather than success, we will be using error inside toaster. Make sure that you do not make the spelling mistake here. And perfect. So our partial view is looking good. But we need to consume this view wherever we want to display any alert to see how temp data actually works. Let's do that in the next video.